Welcome, everybody. The night before the Crystalvale launch. Can you believe it? This is what, so much hype has been leading up to. So we're finally here. And this is the night before it. So, of course, we have to have a little recap of yesterday's AMA and wanted to get this in for the guild before tomorrow. So this can be short and sweet. Kind of want to hear everyone's strategies if there is any. I know there's only going to be one farm tomorrow. But I guess, are we aping into the farm, or are we going to hold back a little bit and just appreciate some of that interest of the X Crystal airdrops for the first week and wait for the Crystal incentivized farms and hold back on the Jewel and X Jewel farm? Or are we going to do 50-50? So that's kind of where I thought the conversation could mostly be had. And then, we can recap the AMA. But basically, the big thing about the AMA is just the fact that everyone can rest assured that they're going to have that 8-hour window. So 12 p.m. Eastern time, the bridges and all that stuff open up. And then, a full 8 hours after that. Really, it's just looking forward to it. I mean, I don't think there's too much strategy. I mean, one of the beautiful things, like I've said a lot about DeFi Kingdoms, is that there's a multitude of strategies, investment strategies, play-to-earn strategies, all this stuff. So whether it's just exciting to get the crystal airdrops and sell them, or the crystal airdrops and keep them in the bank and let the ratio difference appreciate and earn value that way, or sell the crystal to X Jewel and get into the Jewel X Jewel farm that way in the 8 hours. So there's a lot of different ways you can do this. So would anyone like to share what they were thinking about doing?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go 50-50. 50 in Sarandil and do 50% in Crystalvale.
So you're going to keep 50, is that 50% of like your Sarandale portfolio, or 50% of the gardens, or just like your liquid jewel?
My Sarandil portfolio right now.
Got it. So 50-50. Yeah, that's a good move.
Not including heroes.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same mindset as Pink Panda there. I've been saving up and buying the dip for the last, since $20. I don't know if that's a dip anymore or not, but whatever. So yeah, I've just been kind of pulling that. I've got some in X Jewel, but whatever jewel that I've got, I'm just I'm throwing that in Crystalvale and just keeping my bank in Sarandale and gardens in Sarandale. So just kind of splitting it up, I guess.
Yeah, one of those left field curveballs a little bit is how much the Sarandale Gardens APR has risen with the price of Jewel increasing too. So it's like the opposite of lesser of two evils. It's like, which way do you just want to make money? It's like, do you want to stay in the Sarandale Gardens? Do you want to get in, just keep your X Crystal airdrop as X Crystal and not take it out of the jeweler? Or do you want to get into the Crystalvale farms and have the opportunity of getting in on that day one yield? Let's see, Panda's saying going to keep X Crystal in the bank. Yeah. So let's talk about that. So that's the big important thing I want to make sure everyone understands that they said about in this AMA is a lot of it was kind of the Avalanche Summit, just recap about that. And so here it is. So this Crystal airdrop as X Crystal. So why does that matter? So if you look in the Sarandale bank right now. Sorry, I'm going to call it bank just because that's an old habit and I don't like calling it the jeweler. But in the bank, Jewel and X Jewel starts as a 1-to-1 ratio. And if you look at the ratio now, it's like 1.7 something. And the ratio increases when all the different, trading and swapping fees that happen on the DEX, a portion of that goes to the jeweler, the bank.
So they're airdropping the crystal tomorrow as well, or X crystal?
During the AMA, he said only a partial amount of it would be airdropped first day.
Right. And the other thing is, what I'm trying to comprehend myself is that I think there's like an infinite amount of supply of X Joule in Serendale and a finite amount of X Joule in Crystalvale. And the reason being is because I think X Joule is just staked Joule, right? So, or I mean, so they're not a infinite amount, but I mean, like there's a lot of X Joule, in Serendale because there's that much Joule available. But there's only as much X Joule is going to be like pooled over in Crystalvale, and you need X Joule to swap a lot and to get into that first farm. So I don't know if that's going to have this like crazy chokehold price point of everyone that's from the Avalanche side trying to get in that didn't have Joule that's only getting in on on the Avalanche side, if that makes sense. That's kind of confusing, but I have no idea what's going to happen with that kind of price. I just predict tomorrow to be extremely volatile, and I'm here for it with a bag of popcorn. Yeah, so this, we'd like to give our airdrop recipients the chance to get in on the ground floor and give that coveted 1-to-1 ratio and crystal to X crystal ratio. And reason why it's coveted, right, is because there's only one time that ratio will ever be that low, right? I mean, it only goes up. I mean, that's the crazy part about that. It never will go down. So it's one of those unique little components to the tokenomics of the whole Joule X Joule thing that they've got going on. Oh,
Is the crystal from Perilous Journey Heroes X Jewel or just X Jewel X Crystal or just Crystal?
I believe it's all going to be X Crystal.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I believe everything is going to be airdropped as X Crystal. I mean, that's what's just so crazy.
It's smart of them, actually.
All right, so how much Joule used for gas? We will publish our fee configuration for the subnet, but it's important to know that if you have a basic understanding for how this, or to know if you have a basic understanding for how this works, it's not a static fee configuration, so it will scale up and down based on the load. But to give you an alpha teaser, I'm on the DFK chain RPC right now, wanting to send some Joule to another wallet, and the fee is currently 0.000032 Joule for that, and we'll have the flexibility to adjust that in the future if needed. Right now, which that's a huge little last part to that, which can speak a lot. So we'll have the flexibility to adjust that in the future if needed. So I don't know how flexible, but that's great. And I'm hoping that means keep it cheaper and not burn more, but we'll see. Right now it's just the decks. We don't have quest and summoning, which are big gas consumers. Oh, okay. So yeah, so this is even just like it's a lot cheaper to like swap, for gold and stuff like that than it is to do like a quest of 6 heroes or collect something like that. So just remember that's going to be on the low end. But I believe that's under a penny. I don't have a calculator on me, but I believe that's under a penny.
Crystalvale is Avax, right?
Yeah, you mean like as in Avalanche?
Avalanche, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I'll add the token there.
Oh, and when you say you're going to add the token there, what do you mean? Where
Like
is it?
add the token address to my MetaMask in Avalanche.
Because you have the Avalanche network already in your MetaMask wallet?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I don't know if you
Thanks.
even have to do that though, because I think the DFK chain you just need their RPC. It's not even on the Avalanche network, right?
Oh, okay. How do I add the RPC for the FK chain?
Well, so I think it's just going to be like a one-click ad. So I think they had just had an announcement in DFK. Let's see. Actually, I'll pull it up. I don't know that you'll see it on my screen, but I'm going to pull it up on the website.
Yeah, from everything that I understand, while Beast pulls that up, like all you'll need to do is get on DFK chain.
Okay.
You'll just need Joule to go over to
Oh,
Crystalvale, basically. But did you? We couldn't see that Beaks. Was there?
yeah. I don't. The website's not working.
Well, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got you.
So yeah,
Yeah, I
we're just
think.
waiting. We're on standby. I think they're gonna like drop the link tomorrow and be like, "Here's the RPC. Here's the link to add it, and here's the launch." And it's
Yeah.
like, all right.
Yeah. Well, and we got 8 hours before any of that matters, right? So that's the beauty of it, right? Gives everybody time to do stuff like that, and it doesn't matter if you can do it right away or not. I did see. I think some people already have figured out all the RPC stuff and contracts. I've seen it in other servers, but um, I
Yeah,
haven't
shout out
messed with it.
Lazul. He was if you don't follow Lazul on Twitter, he was sharing a bunch of the uh, of the you could see all the Jewel gas prices yesterday and stuff like that. That were you could see some of the DFK chain transactions, the on-chain transactions that were happening already on chain. So that was cool.
Yeah, yeah, that's where I was talking about. I saw it, but yeah, I'm just gonna wait until DFK provides that information. Just to make sure that I don't put in the wrong thing somewhere, and because there's
Yeah,
no need to worry about rushing into it at this point, right?
exactly. I mean, that's a big. I think that's a big important point tonight. Is like, uh, I think not or rushing is not encouraged. Don't make mistakes. This is real money. It's exciting, but they're giving an 8-hour window. They're giving all of the kind of safeguards to just take your time with this. Anybody else have any other farming strategies that they're thinking about that they haven't heard tonight? Maybe just selling all the crystal they get and just taking the bag tomorrow and go putting that all into Sarandale and just taking advantage of the 400% Jewel One farm. That could be an opportunity. That wouldn't be the worst idea now that I'm thinking about that.
Well, Beeks, I was thinking about that, but you're talking about them depositing the X jewel or X crystal airdrops right into the jeweler specifically for us, and Frisky says it above, like the first week of this launch is whenever the gains from having that stuff in the bank or jeweler or whatever you want to call it um, is the highest. So you get the highest gains from that just being in the bank that first week. So um, I don't know what that means specifically, but if I'm ever going to hold X Jewel or X Crystal, like having it in the bank during that time just seems like a good idea.
So anybody else got some farming strategies? X Crystal strategies? Anyone fading Crystalvale? No one's gonna shame you for it. But I think that's actually been a public, pretty popular opinion. Is just staying back in the like the Sarandale Gardens. I mean, nothing to frown about. 400% APR with the 60% unlock rate. So there it is. Vertical Malice. Gonna stay in the Sarandale Gardens. I mean, I am too. I mean, the only reason I'm not. I mean, the only reason I'm partaking in Crystalvale is because I'm getting the crystal airdrop pretty much, and I sold a green egg yesterday, so now I got some jewel. But if it weren't for that, I wouldn't be moving a whole lot. I wouldn't be bridging a whole lot of assets over there. But I notice a lot of people are getting ready to like my man Pink Panda ape in 50% of the portfolio. JB says I left about a quarter of the gardens in Sarandale, moving the rest to Crystalvale. Yeah, and if it's a small bag, it's like sometimes be more aggressive with it, and like take the chance on. I mean, there's just you can always go back to the Sarandale Gardens. You can never get the day one APRs, right? So, if you think about it in that perspective, it's like definitely jumping into Crystalvale. Swole Troll, I'm dumping all my gardens in Crystalvale. There you go. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you got every strategy under the sun going on. I'm envious of those people, honestly, to ape into Crystal Vales. But yeah, so tonight can be short and sweet. Kind of a fake out saying it was a recap. I mean, they were really recapping their Avalanche Summit. But that was bullish. I've heard some people inside the Avalanche community say that the community wasn't as bullish about DeFi Kingdoms coming over. You wouldn't have believed that if with this AMA. Sounds like the project developers are in the Avalanche ecosystem are very excited and welcome them. But it sounds like a huge party there. Of course, it's going to be a good time, but it's all about does the actual community adapt over. One of the things I'm bullish about is, when Jewel was having its amazing run to $22, all the criticism of how expensive heroes did get, which was fair criticism, but I think that I'm not tapped in with the community of Credaba, but the way I see DeFi Kingdoms coming into Avalanche's GameFi and play to earn like world is heroes are 10 times cheaper than a crab to play in Credaba. And with all the exciting farming and day one stuff and crystal and all the stuff that is going on, plus it's 10 times cheaper. It's like, that's why I think AVAX could be looking at DeFi Kingdoms as like, super bullish, and I can't wait to get in. So I don't know that I believe that they're not hyped up. Since price, barrier to entry and having something, that quote unquote hero or that NFT, that asset being too expensive to play the game is a huge deal. So if we can be the more affordable, after we've already kind of had our learning lessons a little bit with the gripes of how expensive heroes got there for a minute, and now we're kind of on the opposite end of that. Like now we're like, oh God, how cheap are heroes going to get? And now we're moving into, we might be moving into a world where that'll be like really welcomed and appreciated. So we might find that kind of nice balance. And, what AVAX whales make Harmony whales, yeah, look like goldfish, exactly. And there's just more money on AVAX. So, yeah, we might see some different species of whales, so to speak. We might find discover the blue whale and some other deep sea creatures. But shout out to the Harmony whales. So whether that is good or bad for Jules to be determined, it's just a shit ton of potential money, and that's right. That's what I mean. Tomorrow is just a spectacle, It's just like, can't wait. I'm excited. Watch your phones. Don't sleep. Not financial advice. Do your own research. 8-hour window. 12 p.m. Eastern time. 8 p.m. Eastern time. Emissions start. What else is there? Wait for the link on the RPC node. Should be a click to just add into your MetaMask. Add the XJoule token contract, so you have Joule and XJoule. Obviously we'll get the Crystal and XCrystal addresses tomorrow, I'm sure. And, stay safe out there. Make some money. And once you make money, don't lose that money. Don't let them take it away from you. You know who they is. Yeah, you can't mess this up. You cannot mess this up. If you're in this recap right now, you cannot mess this up. There's just no way. This is for all the $22 jewel buyers, for the $4 jewel buyers, for the $15 jewel buyers. It's for all of us. So that's pretty much it for me. This was more casual than usual. Just an exciting time. Wanted to capture this, document this the night before Crystalvale launch. But we can stay on as long as we want. We actually have a good crowd in here, but there's only so much to say, really.
I saw a Domino post something about pets earlier. Does anybody know, seen anything about that?
No, but when pets is a great question. I think the untold truth is, there was a reason that Frisky Fox had, kind of restructured and redelegated some of those responsibilities when they did the whole like Dreamer became president, and it was like building, and then there was growth, and they were to be divided or to be separate. But I think the reality of the fact is that the Crystalvale launch probably took the majority of the development, the priority of the developers on DFK's team, even though they are as big as they are. So, it's exciting, but also at the same time, it's like once this is out, it's like for real when pets.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they were moving very fast back in really October, November, into most of December. Like they were knocking things out left and right. And then they kind of talked about this launch and, that split in the road. And once we got close to that split in the road, that's when everything stopped, slowed down a lot. But, I mean, you got to think about it. They're launching their product in a new chain, right? A whole new area. It's basically like for us, yeah, we've seen this product on Harmony, but there's going to be a majority of people on, they're coming into the game to see it for the first time, and it's like you got to make sure that that looks right and that is right, because you want to put your best foot forward. So I think you're right on that, Beaks. I think they probably said, we can push it out and be done and it'll be okay, but let's make sure that it's great because and I think that's one of the other things that separates DFK from a lot of other play to earn games is that, this cross chain thing as well, right? So if you're one of the first people to really do that, you better make sure you do it well and do it better than anyone else in the recent memory or in the near future that's going to do it, right?
Two more things I want to add to that. One thing that I saw was there's a difference between the $9 jewel price today and the $9 jewel price of December or whenever it was that we hit it on the way up. And that difference is we have over-the-counter locked jewel available to this day, right? And so that was a huge knock to the price and part of that tumble when that was introduced. But now we are in a clear trajectory back to all-time highs, and that's part of the system. So we no longer potentially have to fear what was the thing we feared the most. So our worst days could be behind us with the best days ahead of us, and that's quite a combination. So that's number one. And then what was number two that I had? Should have written it down.
Well, that's a big number one, man. Because
Yeah, that's
I
more
had
important.
to be honest with you. That's a big important point that I just hadn't considered.
Yeah, because we're just so much. There's just so much more jewel in circulation, right? And so we're just that much closer to the future diluted value of jewel, and so like it's just a different beast of $9.
Yeah.
Also, Jay, I saw you say pet breeding is going to be crazy. I don't believe there is pet breeding, so that's part of the excitement of pets is that you can only get them from the drops, and you cannot summon with them.
Yeah, and I saw something that Domino shared earlier about different rarities for pets as well. So I think they talked about that in one of the previous AMAs as well. Just nothing confirmed. But
Oh, I remember the other. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to say was, just to like put it into perspective too about DeFi Kingdom. I mean, of course, there's all kinds of fair criticism and stuff like that, but the level that they're playing at when we're going cross chain right now, it's like there are projects, big projects that like can't figure out how to get their profile picture NFTs off OpenSea's like ERC, 720 contract. It's like these guys are taking, interoperable cross-chain hero, with utility NFTs. It's like, and then some, and so much more. It's like beyond night and day. It's like Earth and Mars. It's like different galaxies of the playing field here. And so, I mean, that's just what I mean about like so excited about being a part of this project. But yeah, so that's the other thing. It's pretty crazy project. And a lot of people are imitating and following, but to actually execute is, it's everything. So seeing them go across chain and still be the pioneers that they are is it's awesome. So that's all I got to say.
So I was just wondering about the crystal. Like at the beginning, is it gonna have any utility at all? Like, I guess once we have heroes, we can use it to buy heroes and stuff like that. But at the beginning, I guess there's no utility for crystal, right?
So in terms of the immediate beginning, no utility in terms of like there's not going to be the incentivized crystal farm the first week or so. But the utility I would emphasize is the utility is going to be in the X crystal that first week. So just the fact that they're airdropping it in the bank and getting that ratio appreciation is the utility I would say is there in the very very beginning. And then once the crystal farms come out, that would be the next part of the utility. And then once the rest of that roadmap comes out, all the extra utility of the Crystalvale heroes and the quests and all that stuff. And Yeah, it might even start with the what was the first quest in Serendale, the tears. The
Yeah.
questing, what was it? The
Yeah.
wishing well.
I forgot about the X crystal. Yeah, that
Yep.
would be good.
And I don't
Thanks.
know if it was mentioned in this. I think because I caught the beginning of this AMA, I thought, and I remember them talking something about like they're going to follow the same uh, kind of timeline for the launch that they did in Serendale, um, but because they've already developed like the tavern, for example. You should see heroes a lot sooner in Crystal Vale,
Oh,
and having
yeah. The zones might already be there in Crystalvale. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah. So like basically like we had to wait. I think it was like a couple months to get heroes in Serendale, but like that's already developed. So it's just like kind of a copy paste. I don't know if it's available at the beginning or not. I don't know if taverns in Crystal Vale is available right away.
Yeah, not sure about that timeline yet. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
But
Yeah, they did say that it is going to be more developed. It's not going to be like just the decks. There's going to be like you'll see like the marketplace zone already, and like you'll see some of that game map already figured out. But in terms of how much is accessible on day one or week one or something like that, I guess we're all going to find out.
Y'all do this every week?
Every week, yeah, yep,
All right.
yeah. We try and do it. We try and do it. I think we said we were going to do it the same day as the recaps, but I think like the day after or the AMA. But I think the day after the AMA will end up being the go-to day for us. So Tuesdays.
I'll start showing up.
Nice. Glad to have you.
Hey, Beeks, can I throw one question there before you get out?
Of course.
Yeah, I was a little bit late getting in, so I may have missed some talk in the beginning. You were talking about a few minutes ago with the bigger pool of people in Avalanche coming over, and briefly mentioned heroes. Been watching the hero market for a while now and seen the prices kind of come down, like jewel-wise, super low right now. You can see the legendaries going for 110, stuff like that. What do you guys think about the price of heroes once the integration happens, and especially once they start rolling out more utility for the heroes?
I'm just speculating, but yeah, I mean, you get more people that are wanting to buy heroes, so
More
yeah,
demand.
yeah, more demand. Kind of what I was thinking. And Crystal Vale is going to have its own gene pool as well. So once those heroes get released, there's really going to be kind of a combined demand all at once for those, right? You'll have all the people that joined from AVAX plus people on that came from Serendale, right? So just my thoughts.
Hey guys, pretty new to this channel, but I wanted to add my input. That's all right.
Please.
Yeah, so I think there's like a bit of a shift in the scales in terms of where we're at with summoning at the moment. Not many people think it's worth the value to summon at the moment with the floor price being so low for the heroes. So I think what sort of has to happen is for hero prices to I guess trend a little bit upwards. I think that's like that's something that really needs to happen. It's sort of forced to happen, and that's like I really don't think the hero floor price drops any lower. To be honest with you,
Until people are able to disassociate the price of a hero with United States, like fiat, prices are always going to be unfortunately low comparatively. It's just the truth of human nature.
Yeah, but I do kind of see what you're saying about like I'm surprised it's gotten to what like 30 something jewel at this point. I haven't looked in a few days, but like yeah, it's gotten to the point where the reason why there's so many heroes is because there's the Gen Zero heroes that have infinite summons, right? And those cost what like 60 jewel or something every time you summon, like 30 for just the one hero or something along those lines. So they're already selling at a loss. Um, so I've always thought kind of 30 is the lowest that it should ever go. Otherwise, you're literally almost giving it away, right? And
The fear of missing out on this first month of emissions is so strong that it's pushed it this low. In just a week, it'll go up a bit.
I definitely
Oh,
agree with that. Yeah, people just are thirsty to get liquid jewel.
right.
And then something else I kind of want to add into my original thing was, as I was kind of watching the prices come down the last couple of weeks, I was planning on maybe grabbing a couple of Gen 1 10 out of 10s because I've done some summoning here and there, but I've not really gone full in as far as buying two heroes specifically to summon with. And then I'm also watching, like I was saying, the legendary heroes come down as well. And a lot of the resources I'm sure that all of us use, like the Kingdom Watch and stuff like that, to kind of look at and kind of gauge prices of heroes and try to use stats to compare them. If you look at like that right now to what the floor is for legendary heroes, there's a lot of them that are half the price of what they're quote value for on those places. So I guess also looking at if the price does start going up in the next few weeks, as far as looking at possible ways to capitalize on that, on buying those in 1 10 out of 10s right now and kind of waiting for it to go back up where summoning is more valuable. But also there's the chance of maybe just buying those floor legendary heroes if the prices go back up where they were even a month ago. There could be large profits to be made there as well.
Yeah, I think I saw someone say it best. It's a perfect time to buy. It's a great time to buy heroes, and it's a bad time to spend jewel. So that's just kind of the situation we're in. You're gonna find. I mean, I don't think you'll ever find the deals that you can find in the tavern right now. And in the same breath, it's like who wants to buy a hero right now? So with
Yeah.
PvP so far out and Chris, the farm's coming in. So
If you're buying a hero to buy a hero, absolutely. If you're buying a hero to flip a hero, please
right.
be cautious until there's utility.
But yeah, I mean, if you're looking to find the best advanced traits, Gen 1, 10 out of 10 summons, you're like, I'm going to keep these. These are a perfect pair, match made in heaven. Quest them to level 5, wait for the hero market to come back, bounce back. I mean, yeah, that's definitely. I mean, you can probably find advanced traits and a perfect match for like 150 jewel or less. Gen 1 10 out of 10 used to be 150 jewel by itself.
Yeah, dude, I'm seeing them for like 58 jewel right now. It's really hard not to buy one. Damn.
That's kind of my issue too, because I've been kind of waiting for this for a while, and then I've been stacking up my jewel bag, just waiting for Crystalvale launch, and so I've got a lot of liquid jewel right now, waiting to just go over. But especially hard with that when you have the jewel just sitting there and you see these great deals. It's hard not to jump on them.
Yep.
PJ Hero is also really cheap right now. I reckon that's probably one of the better plays as well. Wouldn't they be releasing the next PJ quest soon?
Ask that last part again. Are they going to be releasing what soon?
The Perilous Journey, the next quest for that one.
Oh.
And we've also got the land tournaments coming up as well.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what the timeline is? I mean, I don't think they said a couple weeks ago they were going to put out the updated roadmap that was going to be a little bit more detailed, I think, with the timeline so we can of what to expect. So I think we're still waiting on that, right? As far as I'm concerned, I haven't seen an updated roadmap, but definitely could use one. We got pets, land
Yeah.
tournament, the exclusive quests like you're talking about, all that stuff. The leaderboard stuff that they're talking about in the castle to kind of incentivize some of the like daily, weekly, monthly stuff. There's a lot going on.
160 right now for a legendary 10 out of 10.
Wow.
So, it's so disgusting.
That is disgusting.
Oh, it is a gardening archer, but whatever.
Yeah, when I was looking at some of those like floor price legendary heroes just yesterday, I was putting them in Kingdom Watch to see what their with confidence price is, and I was seeing them some that were listed for 110, and their price on there was like 250.
Best time to buy a hero probably ever. I've said this before though.
Oh, have you? Are you quoting yourself?
Dude, you know how it is. I bought tiers at $20, so let's not talk about these things.
And the rune prices, man, I was questioning no longer hoarding runes when it was once it got sub 1 jewel, it was like 0.9 jewel, and I was like, oh yeah, the bottom's in, and it was
Yeah, don't talk to
0.4
me
jewel. It's like, oh, and I know you were trading runes. Did you get caught
I don't want to talk about that.
caught with a rune bag?
I'm good. I got money. I played into it. I'm way too deep, but I still got a healthy amount that's going to go into Crystalvale. So
I was watching the prices of runes this morning. It jumped 25% for the Shavas runes just in the past day.
Dude, it got below 0.3 earlier.
Oh wow.
It was so dumb. And it was down there for a minute too. So
I'm also kind of surprised how cheap the Moksha runes are going for right now. I thought they were going to be a little more of a premium.
yeah,
A lot of people are fumbling like really good heroes for way too cheap. Like I picked up a hero for like 95 jewel that was worth about 300. I don't know. People are really panicking with selling their heroes, I think.
purposely I haven't looked because y'all know how it is. You start looking, and then you start buying, right? So if you don't look, you
Yeah,
can't
you have
make
no
that.
business. You have no business window shopping.
I know, right?
Yeah, it definitely goes back to that fear of missing out. Everyone's freaking out trying to get rid of their heroes just to get some jewel to put in day one in Crystalvale.
And then I'm over here like fudding, FOMOing on missing out on those good heroes that I can flip down the road, right?
Well, and here's the move too. Here's where you're gonna get caught. Like again, you always gotta zigzag a little bit. So there's an opportunity cost that I think has been a learning lesson for a lot of people. For example, like a legendary hero quests pretty much the same as a common hero, right? And so without PvP and all that stuff for the last 2-3 months, whatever, 1 month, you're like, what was the point of the opportunity cost of holding a legendary versus just having floor heroes, since all there was questing. And so people are like, okay, lesson learned, feeling a little bitter about that, selling their heroes, going like, I'm gonna undersell them, da 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 da. But what's gonna happen, of course, knowing Frisky Fox the way I think I know him, is that as soon as the Crystalvale stuff does happen, all the hero utility then comes. I mean, it's not like they're unaware of the kind of the sentiment of the hero market, so in the price and everything like that. So, I think a couple AMAs ago, they definitely gave a strong head nod to the crafting, which I think is a very step in the combat stuff and like getting weapons and figuring out what the skill points are going to be attributed to and all that. So as soon as the Crystalvale stuff happens, I think it's like the development of the gameplay and Serendale stuff happens, and then while the farming takes place and the whole timeline on the Crystalvale gives its time, so 45 days sounds about right. And then for those 45 days, we'll hopefully be seeing development on the Serendale side, since the zones and all that stuff, like Doso said, is already built out. So hopefully they have like the next 60 days of Crystalvale figured out, and then we'll see all the hero stuff kind of be taken care of. That's the optimistic theory I'm holding going forward. I'm not saying that's going to happen by any means, but I think they're well aware of the current climate, and they know how to figure out some resolutions to the issues. So that's that. But all right, guys, I don't want to take this too long. So it's 9:00. We've done this for about an hour, so 60 minutes. Nice chit chat. This was like the best turnout ever, but it's also the night before a huge launch, so thanks for everybody tuning in, and thank you Pink Panda for the GIF, and I'll play some music for everybody to exit out, and I will see you guys next week, and enjoy the Crystalvale launch.